Hello everyone, my name is Sudip Ganguly. I'm the product manager of AutoPIPE Vessel. Today our topic will be design Chinese GB 150 code compliant pressure vessels. Here's our agenda today. I will make a brief introduction to AutoPIPE Vessel. Then we will go through an overview of the Chinese GB 150 code features. Then we will go through selection of GB 150 code. We will talk about GB Flange standards, specify Chinese GB code materials, and then design in accordance with Chinese wind and seismic codes. Finally, we will go through a review report and a demo. Let's look at a brief introduction to AutoPIPE Vessel. AutoPIPE Vessel is a pressure vessel and heat exchanger design software. It's basically for static pressure equipment design, and you can also design air coolers in accordance with API 661 and storage tanks in accordance with API 650. There are many advantages of using AutoPIPE Vessel. It can maximize the productivity of scaled engineering resources. It can support for global markets and can improve the collaboration across distributed project teams. It is there is an import feature in AutoPIPE Vessel with which you can import AspenTech and HDRI heat exchanger files. So if you have a process data sheet, you can import it into AutoPIPE Vessel via HDRI or AspenTech import for detailed mechanical design of heat exchangers. Let's look at some of the codes and standards offered by AutoPIPE Vessel. AutoPIPE Vessel is known to support various international design codes and standards. It supports French CODAP standard, American ASME Section 8, Division 1 and 2, UBC, ASCE, TIMA, EJMA, as well as API 650 and 661. British PD 5500 code is supported, BSI CP3 BS 6399, German code AD Markblatter and DIN are offered. Russian code GOST R52857, GOST 28759, and various other GOST codes are offered. You can design codes in accordance with European EN standard EN 13445, EN 1591, EN 1092, EN 1759, as well as EN 1991 and EN 1998. Our latest addition to the codes and standards in AutoPIPE Vessel includes Chinese GB 150 code, which is the topic of the tech talk today, and I will introduce you to our newly incorporated Chinese GB 150 code. So now, as the name suggests, it is used in mainland China for designing of pressure vessels. Apart from ASME in China, mainly GB 150 code is very popular. So in case you're designing for international market and one of your business areas happen to be the Chinese market, which is also the second largest global world economy, then you will have the opportunity to use Chinese GB 150 code as part of the offerings for codes and standards in AutoPIPE Vessel. There are other additional rules and codes and standards that are offered. You can design local load analysis in accordance with PD 5500 Annexure G. The popular WRC Bulletin 107-297 EN 13445 you can use for local load design, as well as GOST and ROARC and ZIG formulae. You can perform regional seismic and wind loadings, Canadian NBC, Indian ASCE, UBC, EN, GOST, British Brazilian NBR, Spanish NB, as well as the Chinese wind and seismic codes. Let's look at some of the users of AutoPIPE Vessel. Global major customers include EPC companies like Jacobs, ExxonMobil, Chemical Technique, TUV Nord, Tata Chemicals Limited. There is Lloyds, UDE, EDF Energy, Doris, Bureau Veritas, which is the inspection agency, Air Liquide, Lurgi, Arriva, Indian Oil, Babcock and Wilcox, Alstom, and these are some of the representatives. So if your company happen to use AutoPIPE Vessel and does not feature here, then I just want to mention that this is a representative list, and these are some of the snapshots of one of the most important companies that are using currently AutoPIPE Vessel, and there are many more. You can have a CAD interface with AutoPIPE Vessel. You can export, once you do the mechanical design of a pressure vessel or heat exchanger, you can export the model. Once your modeling is completed, you can export to MicroStation, AutoCAD, or SolidWorks. You can, some of the examples shown here include stacked floating head heat exchanger, there are tube sheet section details shown, pass partition plate, channel and internal details, tube to tube sheet weld, body flange details, and these are all obtained automatically from AutoPIPE Vessel via the CAD interface 3D export feature. Now let's look at an overview of the Chinese GB150 code. Like I mentioned, it is the standard for designing pressure vessels in China, and the code GB150, the version we are using is 2011-2011. So what are the features of GB150 that has been incorporated in AutoPIPE Vessel? So you have Chinese pressure vessel design code GB150 version 2011. You have Chinese standard flange for pressure vessels NBT 47020, 47027, 2012. Chinese standard flanges for piping are offered, which are 8GT 20592, 20635, 2009 version. Chinese VIN code GB 50009 NBT 47041. Chinese earthquake code GB 50011, 2010. And Chinese material database. AutoPIPE Vessel offers a very detailed, exhaustive, comprehensive material database, which includes ASME, European materials EN standards, German DIN, GOST, British PD standards, and now it also includes Chinese material database GB150, apart from the GB150 code. Let's look at how you select the GB150 code. So in the program, you go to license configuration, and as you can see, there are three options. There is the demo mode, the vessel, and the vessel enterprise. I'm pointing to the screenshot on the left, and vessel enterprise includes all the codes, and if you happen to license vessel enterprise, then you will get access to all the pressure vessel design codes, US, British, French, German, European, Russian, as well as Chinese GB150, and you can design pressure vessels, heat exchangers, and all the other equipment that comes with it, including air coolers and tanks. If you take the license of only vessel, then you can design only pressure vessels, and you have the choice of only one design code. It could be ASME or British PD 5500 or CODAP or German AD Markblätter or EN or GOST or GB150. So various licensing options are available. And to the right, you can see a list of the drop-down button, which shows all the design codes that are available, and there the GB150 has been highlighted. So let's look at a quick demo of the GUI. So first you go to File, and just like I mentioned, you can go to License Configuration, and you have the three options: Vessel, Vessel Enterprise. In the list, you can see Chinese GB150 code has been included as one of the code options. And like I mentioned in my previous slide, you can select Vessel Enterprise. If you have license for Vessel Enterprise, you will automatically get access to all the 7 design codes. There's a confirmation dialog box when you click on OK. Then you go to File Preference. In the Preference Properties dialog box, you set the user language. You set the CAD software name, MicroStation, AutoCAD, or SolidWorks. Then you set the default data. The inputs are units are very important for the input and output. SI and US, both units are available. You can also set up how you want the drawings to be output, the units, etc. Just like I mentioned, you can select a user language: English, Polish, Portuguese, Spanish, and Chinese language is also available. I'll show you later how to set that to Chinese. So now we will create a pressure vessel. There are various templates available in AutoPIPE Vessel. There are total 16 templates from where you can choose. There are options for selecting various types of horizontal vessels, which are on saddles. You can design various vertical vessels on skirt or legs. We will design a horizontal vessel, and from the design code drop box, you can see there are various design code options available: EN, CODAP, ASME American design code, British PD 5500, AD Markblätter German code, NFC GOST Russian, and GB150 2011. I will select GB150 2011. Then the next dialog box is design conditions. You enter pressure, temperature details. Then we move on to load conditions dialog box. There are various cases available: lifted, erected, operating, shutdown, test, blast, and you also have the option of 5 user cases, which are custom fields. You can create a specific user case if you want. You enter the MDMT minimum design metal temperature information there. The program performs the impact test requirements automatically. And then finally, in the materials, you can select apply default data. What it does is it populates with a set value of default materials, which you can change. Now I'm going to later on show you another example where I will show you how to select various Chinese material standards, GB material standards. So this was mainly on how to select the license for GB 150 code. So Chinese GB Flange standards you can also set. So in the vessel properties dialog box, just like we saw, under the design code you select the design option. Local load method, you can select the specific local load method. And flange standard, as you can see, you can set for various Chinese GB flange standards, which includes AGT 20592, AGT 20615, NBT 47020. You can specify various Chinese GB code materials for plates, forgings, etc. So I will show step by step what are the materials that are available. So you can set materials for various carbon low alloy plates. So what you do is you go to the materials tab, you open the dialog box for body for the materials and select for the barrel. You can select plate, carbon low alloy, and as you can see there are 3 options: GB 150, GB 19189, GB 3531. You can specify materials for carbon steel plates as well. So just like we did earlier, we will select barrel plate, carbon steel this time, and you have the option for GB 713, which is one of the most commonly used carbon steel materials as per the Chinese GB standard. It's equivalent to let's say the SA 516 grade 60 or 70 in ASME. So there are not only GB 713, the norm you can select various symbol names, basically the chemical composition, 12 chrome 1 moly, 12 chrome 2 moly, 13 manganese nickel steel, etc. You have options for even selecting stainless steel. So in the stainless steel section, you can select GB 13296, GB 24511. In the forgings, you can likewise, just like we did for plates, you can select carbon low alloy forgings, which includes NBT 47009, and you have following options for the symbolic name: 8 manganese nickel moly vanadium, 8 nickel, 9 nickel, 10 nickel, 3 moly vanadium, etc. You can select carbon steel forgings, NBT 47008, and as you can see, most of the carbon steel symbolic names are available for forgings, just like the plate materials. Stainless steel forgings, likewise, you can select NBT 47010. You can design for carbon low alloy bolting. The various norms that are available include GBT 1221, GBT 3077, the GBT 699. We have options of 2 symbolic names, 20 and 35. You have stainless steel bolting, GBT 1221, and various series of stainless steel, including S304, 310, 316, 321, S420, etc. You have the option of selecting carbon steel welded pipe, which includes GB 5310, GB 6479, GB 9948, and GBT 8163. You can specify materials for stainless steel welded pipe as well. So from the drop down, we select welded pipe class stainless steel, and you have the option of selecting stainless steel welded pipe. Let's see what options we have. you can select GB 13296, GBT 12771, 14796, 21832, 21833, and 24593. You can design based on the Chinese wind code NBT 47041 2014. And you can also design as per the earthquake or the seismic code 50011 2010. Now let's look at the reports. So initially when you open the report, there will be codes, guidelines, and standards implemented table, section where you can see the design code that has been applied, GB 150. The earthquake and the wind codes are listed, the local load design, standard of flange ratings, standard of pipes, and the material standards. So the materials that we selected was GB 713 for plate, GB 9948, 12 chrome moly for welded pipe, and NBT 47008 for forging. You can design based on earthquake GB 50011 2010. In the report, we will see a very detailed analysis of the report when we model the whole equipment. Here I'm just showing a screenshot of the internal pressure. So the way it is designed in AutoPIPE Vessel is each and every component by component, the internal pressure as well as the external pressure calculations are shown. All the equations are specified and the numbers are tabulated in a table form, which is very easy to review. For instance, you can see GB 150.3 3.3 section gives you the formulae for the straight flange and the elliptical head under internal pressure. This is the calculation for external pressure, large cylinder to cone junction. So it's GB 150 2011 5.6.6.4. These references are very important because you can correlate and directly check and validate your results as well. In certain cases, the GB 150 code is probably not applicable. So there we defer to ASME calculations, or there are a few sections that we have not implemented. There also we refer to ASME, and those areas are specifically mentioned and called out. So see, shown here is a junction area check. Let's look at a detailed demo here. So this is similar to the pressure vessel design that we modeled a couple of minutes ago. You're going to select GB 150 as a design code. We'll apply wind load. We'll select the wind code. We'll put a dynamic pressure of 100 newtons square meter. We will select seismic design code GB 50011. And if you see, the load combinations are automatically generated. We'll apply the MDMT. Now here various options for materials are available. Most common GB code materials for plates, forgings, boltings, etc. are shown. So let's select carbon steel material. So we are selecting GB 713 for carbon steel plates, NBT 47008 for carbon steel forging, and GB 699 for bolting. So once the basic equipment geometry is created, you can make several modifications. For instance, here I'm splitting the shell into 3 sections, and I will make some changes to the geometry. See, it's very easy to make the changes in the geometry. And now I'm going to apply external pressure as well. You can change the design conditions on the fly. And finally, I will make some new additions, like I will insert a nozzle, nominal pipe size 6 inches. I will use a flange, and I will use a forging, which is again as per GB standard NBT 47008, carbon steel forging for flange material. I'll use a welded carbon steel pipe GBT 8163 for the nozzle. And pad material, we'll use same carbon steel GB713. So now I perform the code calculations. As you can see here, the stiffeners are automatically added. This is how the report is configured. Like I mentioned earlier, the code's guidelines and standards are listed in the summary at the beginning. So it lists all the material details the design codes chose selected for that specific project. Component internal pressure. On the left, you can see the navigation view panel. So you can easily navigate from component to component. And the calculations are very detailed, so it's very easy to review with all the code sections clearly called out and mentioned, referenced here. The junction inertia check is calculated. GB150 2011 Appendix 1-8. The wind and seismic code calculations are performed. This shows the bending moment and shear force diagrams. And finally, at the end of the table, you will have summary section where it will list the summary of any error or warning, summary of foundation load, component summary, etc. Now let's create the drawings. So it's very easy. You click off a button, you will get very detailed drawings. This shows the general assembly drawing, the operating condition, design conditions, foundation load, tables are automatically generated. The nozzle table is very easy to read and refer to with all the dimensions called out conveniently. You can also create bill of material and cost estimate. And this module is included at no extra cost. It comes with the product for all the licensing options. You can change the rate for every material because material rates are not fixed. It changes on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily basis. This is the detailed bill of material. And finally, on the front page, you'll get the summary, the cost estimate summary. So you get the cutting, rolling, preparing, assembly, welding hours, and that's multiplied by the rates. These hourly rates you can definitely modify. There is a lot of customization that you can perform in the cost estimation module. And finally, the material costs are summed up and total manufacturing cost is arrived at. You can apply the margin and the sale price percentage, and you can get the total cost very easily. Last, I would like to touch upon the various language options. Like I was mentioning earlier, you can set the language preference to various languages other than English. You can have the option of obviously Chinese in case you want to generate, your user might want you to generate a Chinese report, or you might have a user, you might have a need to do the whole modeling in the Chinese language itself. So you can set the language preference to Chinese, and as you can see, most of the graphics, the dialog boxes and menus options are all converted. They're all translated to Chinese. This is the properties, vessel properties dialog box. This is the screenshot of the report. It is very convenient when you work for a Chinese client, and they may be delighted to obtain the report in Chinese language. So you can actually perform the whole calculations in English and just take the model and convert it finally at the end in the Chinese language to generate Chinese language report. Thank you for attending. I have a question here. What all codes are covered other than GB150? So like I mentioned, AutoPIPE Vessel offers total 7 codes: American ASME, British PD5500 EN, German AD Markblätter, GOST, Russian CODAP, which is French code, and GB150. There is a question on supports. What type of supports can be designed using the product? So like I was showing in AutoPIPE Vessel, you have total 16 templates, which are actually the various configurations of pressure vessels that you can conceive of designing. So you can design horizontal vessels, which are saddle supported obviously, and you can design various types of saddles, like up to 10 saddles. You can design vertical vessels which are skirt supported, leg supported, and as well as internal ring or support lugs. There's a question on local load analysis. So the question is how many types of different local load methods are available. So just like I mentioned here, you can design the local loads based on PD 5500 Annexure G, WRC 107, EN 13445, GOST, as well as RORC and ZIG formulae. Question on heat exchangers. How many types of different heat exchangers can you design? You can design both vertical as well as horizontal heat exchangers. You can design fixed tube sheet, U-tube heat exchangers, and also floating heat exchangers of various configurations. All the TEMA configurations are available for design.